Hey everybody, this is Mike with Stack Pack, and today we're going to go over the employee scorecard. Not just how to build one, but how to build one fast using Alex Hormozi's GPT. It's one of his core lessons from all of the different types of management styles that he has. I find it invaluable because it takes out the guesswork of managing different VAs and employees and gives them actual KPIs that they can follow and tools that they can use to understand what their actual role is. Clarity on what people do is really important for motivating them to stay on track. And when you take out guesswork or any type of emotional, intangible object in a relationship for managing people and you focus on just the KPIs that they need to hit, the benefit to that is you can keep it simple, but also keep it targeted towards performance. Making sure that this gets updated over time is important, but in general, once you do it once, it should pretty much just work. So go ahead and enjoy this video, and if you have any questions about it, please drop a comment in the community. See you there. One of the things that I really like about the scorecard is his theory that it doesn't matter how much you pay an employee. All that matters is the return on investment, and that like if they charge $100 an hour, then you need to make $400 an hour off of that person, and that person should be aware of that, and that you don't have to tell her this and change your entire management style overnight. Keep this in your purview in the background so that you understand like her impact on your business, right?
Okay.
So let's create a scorecard for her.
I mean, she definitely takes a lot of, grunt work out of my work because I have to put up 28 new campaigns or new campaigns for 28 accounts for the boating client. And like I would, go crazy having to do that myself. Like that's a huge impact in my opinion to knock out all those, campaigns.
Sounds like she's a rock star.
It's just her time management isn't the most consistent because of the child factor. And obviously, like that is hard to manage because new kids are unpredictable.
So one of the principles from the learning here is that those variables that you can't control are inevitable. Life happens. And as long as you have some core things that you keep people on score with, it doesn't matter if they work 1 minute per day per month or if they work 100 hours per month. All that matters is their outcome. So that can keep you from getting discouraged or distracted by what you had just said, and should help you better understand, where you're coming in at with her and also how to communicate with her on those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I wanted to do this with you in general is obviously for the recording, which by the way, if we're on Fathom, clearing your browser as much as possible and getting it like this while we're recording is key for AI stuff. I just realized I need to do that, but do that more.
So like not a bunch of tabs open and whatever, right? Like tabs and whatever being open.
Yeah, so that way the recording's clean. So this is an employee scorecard revised with everything that you would want someone to be able to do, their role, the mission that they have, so that they understand what their mission is. This is key. If you ever have a meeting, be like, I just want to remind the mission that we're on this together is that we're here to build and maintain high performing Facebook ad campaigns across client accounts with precision and consistency while communicating proactively and also working flexibly within agreed parameters. You have a newborn kid, that's your focus. Family is always more important than work. And that's a principle that you live by, I live by, we live by, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the outcomes that we're trying to get is 90% of campaigns launched with zero violations. This is a really great KPI because you can actually take the amount of work that she's doing, throw it into AI, and then document any mistakes that were made and see, is it above or below a 90% error rate? And you can move this up to 95% if you want, if the SOP is rock solid, If it's not very variable work, having a higher percentage of success should be expected, right? Then also
Definitely.
having,
I just
sorry,
want to
what?
say that the first point also just shows that like things happen. It's not like I'm expecting 100%. Obviously, I would love a perfect world, but I feel like this makes it less confrontational if it's at least 90% or more, right? In my opinion.
Hmm. Exactly. So the next thing is a specific KPI, which is getting stuck in learning mode, because this can take down an entire campaign on Facebook. So less than 10% of campaigns stuck in learning mode, completely different metric, even though it seems related, it's completely different. So you can track this and throw it into AI and give her a report of an SOP. It's like take all campaigns and dump them into AI and make sure the column is included with like what stage they're in, if they're still in learning mode or not, which is a column that you can add into the report.
Of course.
Check all campaigns 2 times a week and documented. How you want to document that is something that can be discussed. And then status update on time with no surprise. I know that you want to do a weekly email. I do recommend that because it's a good idea. And using AI to help her is key. So coming up with a custom GPT where she can dump all this data and it outputs what you need is going to be a big part of this, right? Another thing is, are you on Slack with her or email?
Text, but I've been switching over to Slack more. So I'm starting to message her more on Slack just to move that conversation over to Slack.
Let's definitely get you on Slack with your team. Okay.
Which I am. I made the habit with texting an LB from the beginning, so that's kind of what we've been stuck in. Michelle's are already on Slack, so I need to just tell Laura and reiterate to her that we need to communicate more on Slack. But anyway, continue.
Do you think that this week you could let her know today and say, hey, by this Friday, we're going to resume all communication on Slack only versus text for just separate work and personal?
Absolutely,
Okay.
and then
Do you think
that'll be in favor for her too.
right? No more text message from Oliver, only Slack messages. And Slack has an app where you can control your notifications differently than your texts. So if you don't want to get Slack messages after a certain time, you can set that up on your phone however you wish. Let her know that she has complete freedom on that, right?
Yeah,
But like the goal is never let a message on Slack go without 24 hours on weekdays. Updates every Monday and Thursday. Here's your main 2 KPIs: campaign launch accuracy, learning curve, messaging, and updates. Moving to Slack, never miss a meeting. If you need to reschedule, you can, but you can't miss a meeting, right? So here's the core activities: setting up the activities, complete the Q&A, etc., etc. Values and behaviors, owns both wins and mistakes, flags early issues, follows SOPs and avoids careless errors. I would add here, helps create SOPs where there are gaps. So if I'm giving you guidance and you are doing something differently, make that notation for me proactively so that I can update my expectations so that when I go to the client, what you're doing on the account side is actually a value add. So the more you tell me about the things that you're catching on your end, the more I can go to the client, the more that they like us, give us more accounts, pay us more, then you get paid more. It's all the success. We all share in success. And then managing workloads and flexible schedule without sacrificing outcomes. So this is really key. It's like I want you to have as flexible a schedule as possible, but we can't sacrifice the outcome in the midst of it. So figuring out how to balance that is a moving target, which is fine. I accept that. I want to have kids myself one day. So I really want to make sure that we're not sacrificing outcomes, but I do want to really heavily endorse the flexible schedule and family first motive. If you're as long as you're working with Oliver, you're always going to be able to put your family first. Just you should stand on that. You know what I mean?
hmm
Because you are a family guy. You take care of your brother, your mother, your father. You're taking care of Pamela now. Like you're truly, out of all the people that I've ever met, one of the most family oriented white people ever.
well, thank
It's
you.
because you're Polish. It's because you're not American. You're truly a
Yeah,
Polish person. You're not a United States transplant. You're a Polish guy.
yeah,
And transparency. Communicate availability and roadblocks clearly and early. Don't wait. If something's coming up, just shoot it off on Slack. Just fire it off, and then we'll figure it out. Tools required: Facebook Ads Manager, Slack, Google Sheets, internal SOPs, Google Drive. She should also have Fathom or use your company Fathom. So having a neutral email, like I have my advertising report card at gmail.com, should create your software through that. So create today, put this on your list, create a blue pixel media at gmail.com if you don't already have it, and make sure that it is using Fathom. And that's the Fathom account that you should use with her. And you can use mine for the X. You don't need, I didn't pay for Fathom for the longest. I should cancel the premium. The only reason I paid for it was because I was trying to hook it up to Zapier, which is not required. And then OBS is for you, not for her, right? So you can remove OBS. Meetings and reporting cadence, same thing as we had discussed earlier. Flexible agreement, baby bottle, kind of like that. If campaign volume exceeds 80% capacity or quality slips, bandwidth reassessment will be triggered. Weekly Slack updates on planning work hours. So this could be more clear on Monday. You should ask her, like, when do you think you'll be free to work? Escalation protocol. If more than 2 campaigns are flagged in a 7-day period, if capacity exceeds 80%, initiate a 15 review with Oliver to assess. Support redistribution of QA, like Oliver, when are you going to hop in and take over for her? This is a huge thing for you. At what point in time does it make sense to do LB's job for her? Well, typically when you have a client complain, she's not going to get to it in time, and that you can go in there and do it in X amount of minutes. But when this starts turning into you taking on her job for hours, that's problematic. And that's where your pain point is. That's what you've communicated to me, right?
Yeah.
So this is really important. Like, what's the trigger point for actually taking over for her? And then if there is an issue, then she needs to be able to say, I'm going to have this done by this time and give you an update. Make sense?
Yeah.
So now let's go ahead and put this in a doc and modify it a little bit to fit your need. She should have Fathom too, so that she can go in and review your meetings. This is what's key about this. Give me templates to give to LB so she can copy paste into Slack the output for each week. Schedule.
So that needed contractor support, is that regarding LB? Yes or no?
Yeah.
So can we switch the needed or the contractor to LB support?
LB might not be the only person, but yeah. Because this is going to directly turn into Michelle's thing too. So having more placeholder is important for transferability.
Oh, okay, understood. So then, yeah, okay. Dude, I'm literally redoing the framework of how I've worked my existence, bro. So this is overwhelming, but I need to do it. And this is what they're fucking training in the coaching group too, you know. So it's time to just
Exactly.
start taking action.
This is a coaching group. We are a coaching group.
So you're saying we're competing against John and Bryce?
No, there's more coaches than there are people that know how to do stuff.
I know. I'm
The
being a
vast majority of coaches are coaches because they can't do what we can do. We can do both, which is entirely unique to us, by the way.
That is true.
Okay.
Well, you definitely have a bit more knowledge on that end when it comes to like just overall business management and all these SOPs. Like, I mean, you know, you definitely excel in that realm compared to me. feel like I'm, basically being a manager. I'm over here managing two different type of personalities. It's crazy if you look at it that way.
The real personality that you need to manage is yourself.
Yeah.